Cholinergic receptors, based on their function and location, are mainly of two types. They can be nicotinic, nicotinic, and muscarinic, muscarinic receptor. Right. The first difference is that nicotinic receptor can be stimulated by nicotine. Right, this is nicotine and it can be stimulated by nicotine, and muscarinic receptor can be stimulated by muscarinic. Right, this is the basic difference. The second difference is that nicotinic receptors are ion channels. Right, they are made up of 5 subunits. Let's say this is the subunit 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. These 5 subunit combine to form a nicotinic channel. Right, this is porous so that the ions can trickle into it, and these have receptors something like this so that nicotine can come and bind and stimulate this ion channel. Now, the muscarinic receptors are G protein coupled receptor. They are not ion channels, right? They have the ligand binding domain to which ligand can bind. They have the transmembrane domain, which is 7 pass receptor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Right? That is why they are also called serpentine receptor, the G protein receptors, and they have intracellular domain to which they are coupled with G protein. Right, and here also the muscarine can bind. Now the magic is that the acetylcholine can bind with both nicotinic as well as muscarinic receptor. It can bind with nicotinic receptor and also it can bind with muscarinic receptors. Now, nicotinic receptors, based on their location, are of further two types. They can be NM receptors and NN receptors. NM means they are found at neuromuscular junction. Neuromuscular junction is that when a motor neuron is signaling the motor end plate. Let's say this is your bicep muscle, right? At the muscle end plate, the nicotinic channel which is found is of NM type, and NN is found at the ganglias, right, where two neurons communicate with each other. That is why it is also called neuronal junction. If you want to talk about the agonist and antagonist of these nicotinic channel, right, if you want that what is the agonist for NN, neuronal junction, the agonist for that you have to remember is dustbin. For that you can remember dustbin because you got to dump something into it, right? So it is DMPP, dump for dustbin, and that is dimethyl phenyl piperazinium, the agonist for it, and the antagonist for NN junction is either hexamethonium or trimethophan or hexamethonium are antagonist for NN receptor. To remember NM receptor agonist, you can remember PT Usha or PT Ma, and she has got some muscles so that you can easily remember NM junction agonist. So PT Ma stands for phenyl trimethyl ammonia. This is the agonist for NM junction. An antagonist for NM junction is the toxin secreted by the snake is called alpha bungaro toxin. I don't know who had given this weird name, but alpha bungaro toxin is the antagonist for NM junction. And other antagonist for NM junction is famous is D-tubocurare, right? These are the agonist and antagonist for nicotinic receptors. Now let's talk about the subtypes for muscarinic receptors. Muscarinic receptors are mainly of 5 types: M1, M2, M3, M4, and M5. Now to remember this, you can remember like this, right? This is M1, this is M2, this is M3, this is M4 and this is M5. The top ones are stimulatory and bottom ones are inhibitory, right? So M2 and M4 are inhibitory and they are coupled with G inhibitory protein. M1, M3 and M5 are at top, so they are stimulatory and they are coupled with GQ protein, right, intracellularly. So this is one way to remember. And the next thing is that all the muscarinic receptors are found in central nervous system, but M4 and M5 are exclusively found at central nervous system. Now let's talk about M1 receptor. Of course it is found in central nervous system, but it is also found in ganglia. They can be preganglionic or postganglionic. M2 receptors are inhibitory. They are found in heart, right? M3 receptors have very vast distribution. They are found in bronchial smooth muscles. They are found in eye. This is very bad eye. They are found in GIT. They are found in urinary bladder, or they are found in glands like lacrimal gland, bronchial gland, gastric gland, right, liver, or they can be found in endothelium of the blood vessels. We'll look at the action of each of these muscarinic receptor, and we'll look for the action for acetylcholine as a prototype and how it will modify the action according to this receptor in the next video.